Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Bryce, aka DubsNotSubs, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be going over all the manga that I have read this month and bought this month, and there is a couple of good things to get into. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So for this month, I'm going to be honest with you, there is not a lot of physical manga that I actually bought this month. I've been reading mainly one series, which I'll get into during the last parts of this video, and it is just a fantastic series, and that's pretty much all I've read this month. I really haven't read much more. I caught up on Golden Kamuy, but I didn't buy any more, obviously, because there is not any new things yet. I'm finally caught up with that. I'm glad to be finally caught up with Golden Kamuy, because it is a fantastic series. I have been loving where that arc is going. I'm so happy to be able to get to see the end of what happened with Sugimoto and Ashirpa and Ogata, who was one of my favorite villain slash good guys in the series, because he goes back and forth, and it's a really interesting way of how he is made as a character, and I really like Ogata as a character. But besides going off on the tangent of Golden Kamuy, and it's a fantastic series, check it out if you've definitely not seen it or read it. It is one of the best mangas, animes of all time, one of the best seinens of all time, in my opinion. I think it's really good. I definitely recommend it. But I have a couple digital series I'm going to talk about too that I have right now, but mainly not a lot of stuff this month. I'll be honest, don't expect 6,000 manga, a ton of manga hauls where it's like 100 plus volumes. I don't really have that many. I'm going to be real with you guys. But anyway, let's get on to the first series right here, and that is Orient Volume 2, and I've actually already made a video about this, and I really do enjoy this series, but it very much feels like Magi. I'm not going to go into too much in it. If you want to see it, go watch the video of my original review of it, but I do enjoy it. I want to keep reading it. It's a fun series. It gives me kind of fairy tale here, Mashima vibes. It's very much not you're not looking for a deep story. You're just looking to have a good time, watch some people punch, go on an adventure, and then go home. It's just a really fun, nice, relaxing series, and I really enjoy having these in here mixed in with all my more introspective and crazy, other kind of series like that. And it's a really good series. It's a really solid series. I love the art. I really enjoy it, and I really have been having a lot of fun reading it. At least Volume 1 really pulled me in, and I'm excited to get into Volume 2. I have not gotten into it yet. And next up, we have My Hero Academia, Volume 27. Horikoshi is keeping up with his awesome series, and he's keeping it fire, keeping it good. We got Murkrow on the back, and man, is Hawk's going to be in a world of trouble, because I think Twice may have found out someone's not really with them. Oop, that's spoiler. Sorry, I'll put a spoiler or something before that, but I mean, the cover itself is a spoiler, so it's not my real... Actually, no, the cover really isn't that much of a spoiler. But anyway, it's already behind the actual chapter, so I feel like if you don't know at this point, you're a little bit too far behind. But then again, the anime watchers out there, I'm sorry if I did that to you. But anyway, My Hero Academia is one of the best series ever created. I really enjoy My Hero Academia. I love reading it, love getting it every time that it comes out. It's one of the few series that I make sure to get right now every time it gets released so I can catch up with it. This one, unfortunately, I have not gotten into because, like I said, I really focused in on that one series, and I really did not read much more of it, of anything else, to be honest, and I really, really have been happy with that series. But My Hero Academia, good, love it. Horikoshi is the man. He knows what he's doing. This arc is so good. Well, we're going to see what happens with Hawk in this. Seems to be going a little bit of a haywire direction. I really like that. And from what I'm hearing on Twitter about what's happening with Deku and stuff like that, which I don't know 100%, and I'm not going to go look into because I'm not going to get fucking spoiled, and I cannot believe I've not gotten spoiled yet, and I really hate that people are posting it on Twitter like nobody else is trying to catch up, or there aren't anime watchers, or aren't people who only are reading the manga the physical versions like I am. It just sucks because people don't really care, but it is what it is, and I have been avoiding spoilers for the past 4 months now because apparently crazy shit has been going on in it. I don't know what's been going on in it, but I want to know, and hopefully I'll get there pretty soon, because I don't know. I don't know how many volumes, it's behind the actual chapters. I think it's, one or two out, behind or something like that for, book lengths when the chapters come out, or maybe only one. I don't know. I'm going to be honest, because I've not researched that, and I really don't care to, because I just want to get it every month. But that's pretty much it for all the physical stuff, and before I get into the digital stuff that I've been reading, you guys probably are wondering what's up with the whole Ghetto Mike thing. And I don't know if you probably can't tell, hopefully, if my mic's doing the right job, and it's actually extremely windy outside, like really, really bad. So I'm doing my best to not have the wind ruin the audio like the sun ruined my video last time. It's been a hell trying to work with nature right now, and it's really not working in my favor. It's pissing me off. So I got my little boy right here. Just pretend he's SpongeBob when he's robbing the bank in there, and just go with that, and it will be fine. We'll be good. He does its job. Hopefully it's taking the wind away. It's my ghetto solution to it because I don't actually have a pop filter for my blue snowball, so I have to live with what it is. But anyway, the digital series that I want to talk about before I talk into the main one I've been reading is a series that I just started up, and that is Initial D. Now, if you guys have Amazon Prime, you can actually read the entire Initial D series digitally for free. It's on the Kindle Select thing. You can just go on there and download it. It's free. You can read all of it. It's really good. I have been wanting to read the series for a long time, you know, running in the 90s. You hear that meme song all the time, and now I am finally getting into the series that originated that, and I really have been liking the idea of car racing, and I've been really getting into the idea of car racing. I'm not actually performing in it. I would like to, but I don't have the money to do that. So I'm going to settle for my boy Tak to do the races for me, win them for me, and have a great time, and I can live through him like a unsuccessful parent does with their children. Now, this series is so good. It follows Tak, who really doesn't care about racing, but we find out within like the first couple volumes that he's extremely good at racing and can pretty much dust anybody on Akina Mountain in a drifting competition. And it goes to this journey of him just getting into racing, getting into the whole sport of cars and just the hobby of car people, and it's really, really enjoyable. I really like it to go learn about more cars, learn about racing cars, and the fact that it's in the 90s, you get to see all these retro cars. It's not like all these like Lamborghinis and stuff like that. I don't know if that happens later in the series, but right now, like, the newest car or like the most recent car or the most recognizable car is a GTR that's in there, and then my dream car now is a Mazda RX-7, thanks to one of the people that Tak races originally, one of the Knight Rider, not the Knight Rider kids, the Red Sons. And it is just a fantastic series. I really love it. It's really action-packed. The art's really good. I very much enjoy it, and I really like all the characters surrounding it. I like how Tak is getting pulled into racing like he does. Like, he doesn't care about it originally, but he's slowly getting into more, wanting to learn how to race, and like that winning spirit and stuff like that that you can, if you've played any sport, you can relate to in this series too. And it's just very good. It's very solid, and I really, really enjoy it. It's just such a fun series to read. It's a really cool series too, about like the sports mindsets, people like surrounding themselves and like living for something and living through a sport, living for a sport, and like just like all this other kind of like sports and just mindsets that people have for these kind of races and things like that, and what it really means to them. It's a really cool series, and I really enjoy where it's going. I've read volumes 1, 2, and I'm on volume 3 right now, and so I am absolutely loving it. I love reading it every week. Well, I don't really read it every week. I usually read it at work when I'm on breaks and stuff like that, and I try to read it at home sometimes when I'm not reading my physical stuff, but it's a solid series. I believe there's 41 in total, so that shouldn't be too bad for me to finish, considering I just finished a series that was 71, I believe, volumes long. And if you guys know manga, you probably know what I'm talking about, and it's going to be the series I'm talking about right now, and that is Naruto. Now, for those of you guys who have been living under a rock and don't know who Naruto is, Naruto is a story about the character Naruto, who has started off the bottom, and he has nobody, he has no family or anything, and he just kind of talks about wanting to be the next Hokage, having everybody to recognize him, and for him to go on his dream and do that. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys know about it. I'm not going to go into an actual synopsis of Naruto, but this series is so freaking good. Now, if you guys have seen my previous video of me talking about starting it again, I have now finished it recently. I loved it. It's a classic. It is so freaking good, and there's just so many good things to talk about. I'm going to do a quick summary of like my thoughts and opinions of it right now. The reason I brought up my other video is not just so you guys could check it out, wink wink if you haven't seen it yet, but for you guys to know that my opinion on that video pretty much hasn't changed. It's pretty much rode out the entire series. It's action-packed. It gets better and better as the entire series goes on. It is so good, so solid, like the action fights and everything, and the arcs just get better and better, and the Akatsuki getting introduced and everything like coming back in at the end, everything's getting pulled back together, previous characters coming back to life, and just so many different things like all connecting at the end. It goes perfectly and brings such a good into the series, although I do think that the ending after the fight is rushed. It's just like they end it and then they're just like bam, and that's it. They skip like 25 years and then Naruto's Hokage. There's no progression to that, and that's just because they were trying to shove in Boruto to get a sequel off with it, which is kind of sad because it was a bit money grubby, and just because they don't want the series to end, and it's one of their best series of all time, it sucks that they ended up doing that with it instead of giving Naruto a proper ending and then starting off Boruto, which I think would have been just as fine, just to see Naruto end naturally. But maybe Kishimoto was just done with the series, to be honest, which I could get. 700 chapters is a long time. I don't understand how One Piece and Oda Sensei wants to keep even going on that and just having it as long as it is, because I feel like One Piece is too long, in my opinion. I think it's gotten to the point where it's too long and it's just dragging on to this point just to try to be the longest. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't really know how it is, but from recent sales and TOC projections and a lot of things like that, it seems like it's going down, and I think it's because the barrier entry is too large and that it is just a series that is not as good as what it once was. But Naruto is just so solid. It's so good. I love all the characters in there. I mean, if we're going to go with I'll go with my top 5. I mean, obviously, number 1 is Naruto. Number 2, I don't know if people are going to agree with me or hate on me for this, but Gaara is my number 2. Then Kakashi, then Shikamaru, and then probably number 5 would be Zabuza, and that is not because of like the impact. It is kind of the impact of the story, but it's just like I think he is one of the best like first ever arc villains to ever be introduced in any anime and manga of all time. I absolutely love Zabuza as a villain. He's so cool. It's so good to see like how he changes at the end and his like dynamics of a person that he is. I love Zabuza. He will always be in my top 5 of favorite villains of all time. I think I put him in my top 5 anime fights too, and it was completely subjective. That whole video was completely subjective. But I absolutely love Zabuza, and that is probably my top 5. I love Gaara too. Gaara is so underrated. I fucking love that dude. Also, I found out that on Amazon there's actually a backpack you can get of Gaara's gourd, and I have like, oh my, I'm gonna make so many bad purchasing decisions now that I can buy Naruto merch and get it, because there's so many cool things that Naruto has for merch, and I just love. I'm now able to make take my adult money and put it into Naruto merch and stupid shit that I want to buy. But overall, Naruto is absolutely fantastic. It is one of the best series I've ever read. But if I'm going to complain about something, and that is Sasuke, I really don't understand how so many people like Sasuke, to be honest. He comes off really whiny to me, and like obviously I've never had my whole clan destroyed and stuff like that, and I get his whole thing of wanting to kill Itachi and everything like that, but I don't know why he had to, fucking betray Naruto just because he felt like he was gonna fall behind. It's like I'm not doing as good. I'm gonna join the bad guy and just fuck up everything. And it's just like, all right. I mean, that's fine. I can get that to a certain extent. But then after you find out what Itachi's true calling was and why he did it, what is going on with it, and after Itachi talking to Sasuke for the first time and like everything that he finds out about it, he's still destroyed. So he wants to destroy Konoha just because that's what Itachi chose to do, which seems insane because he says that the village made him do it, but Itachi chose to do it. So it just gets very confusing, and I don't understand why he was so complaining about it and whining about it, wanting to destroy Konoha. That's just my personal opinion. I don't understand it, and that's fine. Sasuke was never really one of my favorite characters because he has one of the best plot armor shields in the entire series. Like, let's be honest. Naruto hunts him down, beats like some of the best people out of the those 4 people. I can't remember their names right now. And then he ends up getting to Sasuke. He's already tired from chasing him, battling other people, and then Sasuke pops out with his new form and like powered up form and wins, and then it's just like, what? And then he fights him again, and then he has another superpower where he just basically, the only reason he catches up is because he got this new like thing that happens that makes him like super overpowered, not from training like Naruto did of using the Nine-Tailed Fox or like learning new jutsu like Toad Sage and like all these other modes. It's just like, besides when Sasuke kills Orochimaru and learns like all the stuff from Orochimaru and like gets all the like snake powers and shit like that, everything else seems to just come with him for convenience sake. Like Amaterasu comes with him because Itachi gives it to him. The Susanoo is the same thing. It comes through the bloodline and stuff like that. He unlocks like eyes and shit just conveniently when it needs to, and it just feels like Sasuke was forced to be more powerful than I feel like he could have been naturally, and there was a natural way I think they could have made him more powerful. it just really didn't seem very natural in a lot of situations. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't, but overall, I was just never really a fan of Sasuke. I just really never liked him, and I don't really understand why people like people like that so much. Like, honestly, it's like the same thing with Bakugo. I don't understand why people love Bakugo as much as they do. Like, it makes no sense to me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoy this. What are you guys' opinions on Naruto and all the other stuff that I've shown off this month? What have you guys been reading this month? Tell me down in the comments below. I always love hearing what you guys have to say. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, Dubs Not Subs.